it's Amanda and this is my Texas Zone 8 garden, and today we are inside and we are going to be doing a bunch of seedling updates and seedling maintenance. Really good response to my last seedling update and maintenance video where I specifically talked about a lot of things to be aware of, how to deal with different diseases and issues with your seedling, basically just general care of your seedlings. So I wanted to come back in with my seedlings again and show you the next step in several of them. At the beginning of the video, you already saw me going through and doing all the petunias. So what I did with all the petunia varieties is I came through and I just gave them a really nice shave down. I removed any blooms that were coming, any buds, anything like that. Just gave them a nice, really good haircut. And everywhere I made a cut, it is going to produce 2 branches from there. So it's just going to get more and more full. These are just getting absolutely beautiful. I think I'm almost to the point where I'm going to start moving them outside and storing them outside because they are starting to take up so much room. I definitely feel like I started my petunias a month too soon. I started them at the beginning of December. I had always thought that they took a really long time to germinate and grow, but these have just done spectacular. I started a wide variety of them. And so in the future, I don't think I'll be starting petunias until the beginning of January. I still have a month to go before I can even get these outside. Now I have 4 trays of these. They've all done really, really great. And I've been storing them underneath my dining room table where I installed some lights, and they're doing wonderful. Those are going to be so good and such a money saver this year because I usually spend quite a bit of money on usually supertunias. And I'm sure I'll still buy a few supertunias, but a lot of the ones that I've grown are known for being amazing for hanging baskets, and they grow 2-3 feet wide. So I did a lot of varieties of those seeds. Most of those seeds were purchased from Swallowtail Garden Seeds. If you're interested in checking out their petunia selection, you can still start petunias now. I also think it's a smart idea to start a round of petunias during the summer. And you could start them in more fall tones and oranges and reds and yellows. I think that'd be a really cool thing to do. And then you have a wide variety of them to choose from in the fall. I do think on these petunias that I'm going to slow down on my fertilizer. Truthfully, these I've only been fertilizing every 2 to 3 weeks, sometimes 4 weeks. I think I'm going to slow down on the fertilizer so they're not growing as big. And I think that probably in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to start potting them up into larger gallon containers where I'll potentially put 2 plants in each gallon container. My voice is so tired. I just got back from my son's basketball game and I help coach. And I really love basketball a whole lot. And I'm definitely the yeller. I'm the coach who doesn't sit down the whole time. And I mainly work with what's going on the court. And I yell real loud. So my voice is so tired right now. Okay, next we're going to talk about the tomatoes. Tomatoes did really good with the exception of the Constelluto, what were these called? Constelluto Genovese tomato. And they did not sprout at all. I had 0 germination. So I went ahead and reseeded all of them. So I'm going to try again and see if they do well. They have been on a heating mat. Not sure. Those seeds were from MI Gardener, so I'm wondering if it was just the whole package or if it's something regarding user error. My other ones that are from MI Gardener did great. Those varieties were the orange Oxheart tomatoes, the Moneymaker tomatoes, the 42-day tomatoes, and then, yeah, it was those 3. So they're doing really good. So when I talked to you guys, when I originally seeded these, I was really low in the soil. And I said that once these got up above the rim, that we're going to add more soil to increase root production. So let's take a look at what that's going to look like. Okay, so as a reminder, we did about a third of the way with soil and we planted our seeds and then we allowed the seedlings to grow all the way up with the idea that a tomato can produce roots anywhere on its stem. So now what we're going to do is we're probably going to bring the soil up to about an inch from the top, and everywhere that these seedlings are underneath the soil, it will produce more roots. And that is going to give us a stronger, more robust plant over time. So I've got my favorite potting soil, which is the BM7. So I'm just going to very carefully come in and support the seedling with 2 fingers. And then I'm just going to add some soil just like this. And just kind of tuck it down nicely. Just like that. And I'm not reducing to 1 seedling yet. We'll let these grow on some before I reduce that down. And just as simple as that, that's all we're doing. I'm not packing this down real hard right now because I don't want to bend the stem. And when you're adding the soil, we definitely want to make sure that you're keeping all of the leaves above the surface at this point in time. We do want to make sure that we're not having too much contact with the leaves to the soil, because that is how you breed disease into your tomatoes. They pick it up from the soil. All right, and just as simple as that, and I'll just kind of come back and pull the labels up so you can see them. And then I've already got water in here, so we'll allow it to just soak up. And as these continue to grow larger, we'll add more soil. And then once they get bigger, we will pot them up into larger containers, making sure we sink as much of the stem down in the soil as possible. All right, so let's take a look at this tray. Right here, we've got the baby blue eucalyptus, which is doing really good. I'm going to leave it in its current tray. It's not quite ready to be potted up to the next level. I do have some little tiny baby begonias here. It looks like I don't have any. Oh, I might have one tiny little one right here. And I got one there and one there. So I've got like 3 over here. Over here, these are still a little bit small, but maybe in a couple of weeks I can pot them up to the next level. Now over here, I do have my blush Cleome sparkler, and this is ready to be potted up to the next level. So let's go ahead and knock that out. And you can actually see the roots coming in the bottom of the Cleome. It's Sparkler 2.0 Blush Cleome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my soil. I do want to add some nutrients to the soil. So I am going to add a couple of handfuls of compost, mix it in. All right, and then I am going to be working with the quart containers just because I do want to grow these Cleome onto larger plants. So even though I probably could get away with like one of the 3x3 or 4x4s, I'll go ahead with this one, and then I won't have to pot these up again for a while. Now, when I purchased these Amazon containers right here, they come with like a little spade, and I find it very helpful for just kind of digging down in here to pull up the seedling just like that. So we're just going to pull up the seedling. We want just 1 seedling per container. I'm going to go just like that. It's easy peasy. This one right here has 2, so I'm going to go ahead and remove one of them. Let me see which I think. I'm going to remove this one. I'm just going to cut it. And you could pull it out and separate them and make 2 plants, but I'm very happy with the amount that I have, so I don't feel the need to try to save every single seedling. But you certainly can if you want to. It's really healthy seedlings. Look at those roots. Okay, and then we're just going to go ahead and position them in a water reservoir. Like that, and then I'll bottom water these. I'll probably stick a couple of other containers in here as well. Okay, I do have a few begonias. This is the Illumination Mix begonias that need to be potted up to the next level. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll go ahead and do the same size containers, and I'm going to do soil and compost again. All right, now I had very low germination rate on begonias, and a lot of y'all warned me that that would be the case. I would probably say in the end I had less than 10% germination across the board. But I am happy with what I got, because typically these particular varieties of these tuberous begonias, these are, you know, $15, $20 a plant. So I'm still really happy with what I received. So we're just going to pop them right into these containers, one seedling per container. And these are tuberous, so in the future, if these do well, I can propagate these tubers, which would be really great. Theoretically, if I keep these alive, I can build off of these each season, with the potential of not having to buy any additional tuberous begonias in the future. And this was a mix. You can definitely tell that this one is different from the other ones. That's cool. All right, I'm going to add those to the tray that we already started. Okay, so let's take a look at the seed dahlias are doing real nicely. Let me move fly trap or fungus gnat trap. So we had really good germination. We had the double extreme dahlias. They had a little bit lesser than some of the other ones. I had 2 sets of each, so those look pretty good. We also did the showpiece double mixed dahlias, which are going really strong as well. There's 2 of those. And then the last one is the pom-pom dahlias, which had a little bit less germination, but these were older seeds, so I kind of figured that that might happen. Okay, so this is probably to go from 1 tray to 2 trays, so it's going to take up a lot of space. I'm going to go ahead and pot them up just in some regular square containers. These are the ones I got off Amazon. I don't love their size. I wish I'd gotten an inch smaller so they fit better into a 10 by 20 tray, but it's still fine. We'll still go for it. I take it back. I'm going to put them into some of these smaller containers just so that they all fit a little bit better. And basically, all I'm going to do is use a mix of the soil and compost. And I do like adding compost to when I'm potting up, just so that I go ahead and start putting some really good nutrients into there. And if there's more than one in each, which I don't think there is, then I will go ahead and pull that out. These are my Vigo containers that I used, and these are really great because you just basically take your finger and push up and they come out very easily. So it's really easy to transplant. And you're going to put them just at the same height as what they were, and they're good to go. Now, these are ready for, I don't know, I feel like they're not quite ready for pitching. I think I'm going to wait a little bit longer before I pinch these. Dahlias do benefit really a lot from pinching, but I think we're going to wait until they're a little bit bigger, maybe in a week or 2, and then I'll come back and pinch them and I'll show y'all what that looks like. So we ended up with 12 right there, 24, 30. Oh, that's a lot. 30 dahlia plants. They're looking really good. I got a little bit of room on this one, so I've got them all potted up. And I definitely want to start hitting these with some fertilizer to really start getting the tuber systems going a little bit stronger. I think I'm going to let them get to about 6 inches tall prior to starting to pinch them back. And the reason we pinch back dahlias is because it increases branching and therefore increases the number of blooms that you get. I grew all these from seed this year instead of investing in tubers because I've just had massive failures with tubers in the past, and I just didn't want to put the money into it this time. So I thought I'll do them by seed. That'll be fun. We'll see how it goes. The process has been awesome growing dahlias from seed. So if that's something you're considering, I highly suggest you go ahead and jump in and try it out. All right, so I'll get these watered as well. They're most likely going to go underneath this table just because I want them to get a little bit more sunshine going, or a little bit more light going on them. Okay, the next varieties we're going to mess with are Scabiosa. And I did not have very good germination. I had, I think, no germination on the Beaujolais bonnets. I did have one out of the Merlot red that germinated. Out of the salmon rose, I had quite a few. Oh, it looks like one Beaujolais bonnet worked over here. So not great, not great on those. Some of y'all told me next time that I should do cold stratification on them first, so I might do that next time. So I'm going to go ahead and tuck them, also pot them up into the next set of containers. They are in the Amazon containers, so they do need the little spatula, just like that, to pull them up. And then we'll tuck them into this combination of soil and compost and be good to go. I don't think I'll have to pot these up again prior to planting them outside. Truthfully, I think the only thing that I'll have to pot up again prior to going outside might be the petunias. Now, if you don't have tons of room, you can try to put 2 seedlings in each of these containers. I'm just opting not to do that. But you can definitely do that and then separate them when it's time to plant. Okay, let's see some close-up updates. Toothache plant. Looks like I had 100% germination, looking really good. Definitely too small to start potting up. Remember, once you see about 50% of your seeds germinate, you can remove the humidity dome, and I'll keep you guys updated on this. Probably gonna get another week or two, and then I'll start fertilizing this one. Okay, these are all my dianthus right here. We had really great germination for the Minstrel's dianthus, and this was an older seed and still really doing good. I had 10 out of 12 germinate. This one right here is the sweet purple-white bicolor dianthus, and I had 10 out of 12 germinate on that one. This one right here is sweet black cherry, and I had 11 out of 12. Now this one, the Hetty Wiggy dianthus, this was an older seed and only had 4 out of 12 germinate. I have since then figured out the Hetty Wiggy and the Minstrels are the same variety. And the sweet white dianthus, it looks like I had 8, no, actually I take it 7 out of 12 germinate, but some of them have multiple in there. These are all doing really good. Once again, I took the dome off once 50% of them had germinated, and just keeping them nice and close to the light as they continue to grow on. Once they at least get one set of true leaves, from then on, I'll try to start fertilizing them. All right, a few more to talk about. This is the lilac bell pepper, and it looks like I had 100% germination. This guy right here germinated, but his seed got stuck, his seed head, so just very gently give that a little squeeze, see if I can't convince that to come off. Yeah, it does not want to come off. Sometimes that happens on the seed shell. But I did have 100% germination on it, which is really great. I'm really excited about these lilac bell peppers. I think they're going to be really fun. For this one is the Lustrata de Gandia eggplant. It looks like we had 100% germination there as well, including this all white one. So I'm kind of interested to see what this guy is going to look like, if he's going to end up being something different. That might be really fun. Now over here I have the Alyssum royal carpet. It did not have very good germination here, and these were newer seeds, so I'm not sure what ended up happening. Everything that is in here is not in good shape. I think I'm actually going to toss this entire thing and start fresh on the Alyssum or start something else. They just, I mean, I put like a ton of seeds in here, and I think I only have like 5 in here, and they just aren't very healthy. So I don't know if this was a sowing technique that didn't work. Maybe I should instead try the individual cells. I don't know if I kept it too far from the light because they do look a little bit stretched, but I think I'm going to dump this in and restart it. And I know this is going to look brutal. Oh, I know. But when they don't look very good, I don't want to try to, like, I don't know, limp them along. I'd rather just start with a better seedling in the end. When your seedlings are really weak, that's something for you to kind of consider. Do you really want to go through the trouble of limping a crappy seedling along, or just start fresh and see if you can get a stronger one to start off with? Okay, so here are some of my coleus. Had really great germination for Black Dragon. This was a Kong, which you can already tell it's so big already. The Kalacha Sunset, and this is Black Dragon here. Did not have good germination on the Velvet Red. What I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to go ahead and pot up the concoleus today because I do want them to grow on and continue to become stronger. So they're going to be a simple pot up and just my mixture of soil and compost. Let's see if we can get it here. And I think especially with these concoleus, which is a lot larger variety of coleus, I think that if I go ahead and pot them up now, it'll be more beneficial because some of them are getting so large that they're blocking out the sunlight for other ones, like this one right in the middle. Look how big this guy is. And he was blocking the sunlight of the ones underneath it. And I've got two little tiny ones here. So what I'm going to do, this is going to look insane. I'm just going to go ahead and pull this one up and I'm going to move him right over here. My coleus, and then on those red wizard ones, I'm going to go ahead and work them into this container as well. So not taking it, like giving up so much space. Does that make sense? Now, some of these other coleus aren't far off from needing to be potted up. All right, one thing I'm going to do is these right here are coleus that were from cuttings, propagated coleus. So I'm going to go ahead and move them in here so I've got all the same containers in here. Put this back under the lights. And then in this container right here, you can see my candy tuft. So if you remember for candy tuft, we did candy tuft planted at a 1/2 inch deep, and we did candy tuft planted on the surface, and it looks like I had about the same germination rate for both of them. So that was an interesting experiment. And then I'm going to go ahead and put all this concoleus in here. And then get this back under the lights as well. I also think with this one, with my begonias, let's see, I've got one tiny one right there. That's the Picotee lace. This is ruffled coral. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to maneuver these around a little bit so that once again I can make room. So I'm going to go ahead and take this corner out right here. And I'm going to add in this itty bitty one. I'm sure it's like almost impossible for you guys to even see it. And I'm going to do the same thing right here. Got another one. And these are just not growing on as quickly as the others, but it's okay. And we'll just get that tucked down in there. And hopefully continue growing those on. So that's 4 of those. And that allows me to get rid of this guy. And then I'm also going to move the Picotee over here too, because I've only got this one tiny one. I don't have anything else. Let me check carefully. Yeah, I've only got one, so just carefully move that one over. Hopefully keep growing that one on, and that allows me to remove this tray as well. And I think since I have a little bit more room, I'm going to move some of my sweet dianthus over because I do think that they don't get as much light on the ones behind me, on the lights behind me. They get better light on my other setup. Take my sweet white too. All right. So I'm definitely getting to the point where I'm beginning to really start running out of space, which is going to be a problem. But I'm thinking if I start moving some of the petunias outside, even these like begonias, I think would be okay. Let me raise this up a little bit. All right. Get those under there. And I'm going to raise this other one up a little bit too. So what's great about these, so you can just adjust the chains, because these tomatoes will be up in that light in like a day. All right, gives that a little bit more light. Just get those under here. I'm also thinking I'm going to move my propagated coleus. This guy right here is going to get moved to the lights directly behind my table. And then for right now, I'm going to slide one set of petunias in here, although I think I might move them outside tomorrow when I have some time. Okay, working under here, I've got one set of petunias right here, and I'm going to go ahead and try the dahlias right here. And then I'm going to slide these other dahlias back along here. And then I'm going to slide the, can I get these in here? I'd really like to. No, I won't be able to get them all in there. Never mind. I think I'll do that for now. I think it'll be easier once I get the petunias right here and that thing of petunias and this thing of petunias out. Outside. I would even consider moving, I might go ahead and move out all my pepper plants outside too. And basically what I'll do is I'll just leave them out there, and if we have anything close to a freeze, I'll bring them in. I think that'll be absolutely fine. I think they'll do fine outside. We're having very mild weather right now. But basically the deal is because they're so easy to transport, I can just pull them in at a moment's notice, no problem. So I think they'll do pretty good outside. So I think once I do that, it's going to help clear up a lot of space. And hopefully these lights under here are like 15,000 lumen, I believe. And that's a lot of light. So I hope that that'll help out a lot with these dahlias and really start to increase the strength of their stems. I think it would be really good. Once that other petunia one, I move it, I'll move this. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to move that petunia one down that's over here, and I'm going to move this guy up. Okay, I feel out of breath. That was a lot of work. I still do think I need to maybe pot up the candy tuft in the next week or so. Some of more of the coleus is going to have to be potted up the next week or so. So it is going to be important for me to probably go ahead and get my greenhouse set up outside. I have just a little portable greenhouse that I have from Amazon that you just stake to the ground. So I'll probably go ahead and get that set up, start moving a bunch of these seedlings outside, because I'm still starting more seedlings. We're not done. And I would like to kind of keep up, and this makes sense. You know, you start with a small container like this, but then that turns into 12 plants that you have to pot up into bigger containers. So it makes total sense. My hope with my snapdragons is that I don't have to pot them up at all, that I can just put them directly into the soil outside. That'll be my ultimate goal for them. The last thing I needed to show you all was a couple of different things. So my hardy geraniums, the Vision Violet, I don't have any. I have no germination on it at all. It's been quite a while. I'm going to let it keep going for a while, and we'll see. These do take a while to germinate, but so far not so great. Next, for my creeping thyme, I have excellent germination. I have a ton that germinated, so I'm really excited about getting that one started. Definitely going to let these just grow on for a little while. I think that's it. I'm looking over my notes. It's a mess in here. Lots of y'all have been asking about my planner. I have a video I'm working on my planner. It just hasn't been a priority, but I will get to it, and I promise I'll post about it. Okay, so that was a lot to go through. I'm going to do this. I'm going to keep doing this every few weeks. I want you guys to see the process, not just starting it from seed and not just planting it in the garden. I want you to see the in-between. maintenance of your seedlings, it's very, very important. You can't just plant them and then just let them grow in their containers and do nothing. They have to be fertilized, they have to be pinched, they have to be thinned, they have to be potted up. You do want to continue to take care of them to make sure that you have really robust plants when it's time to plant them out in your garden. So, and usually when I'm doing this, I have to devote a few hours to doing this, and I don't have nearly as many seedlings as a lot of people. But yeah, everything's looking really, really good. A few disappointments, including the hardy geranium, which is a little sad. So maybe they'll still germinate. I don't know. We'll see. Did anybody else have luck germinating their hardy geranium? Y'all let me know. Let me know if you have any tips. All right, y'all, as always, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Every time you guys write a comment or like one of my videos, it helps grow my channel so much. And be sure to check me out on my social media outlets, including Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. As always, she's a mad gardener or decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.